Double recording, double scrambled brains.
Double delusion. Double
Enjoy.
the fun. Yep. Double the pleasure, double the fun. Here we are.
Welcome back.
Wait, what is that from? Double your pleasure, double your fun. That wasn't a song, but I also feel like it was a slogan for something, right?
Isn't it a slogan for condoms?
No, no, no. No, I think it's a gum.
Oddities. Stay strange.
Okay, well, while Cassie's figuring that out, welcome back to Oddities. I'm Kelly.
I'm Cassie.
Welcome back to Strange Town. We're clearly effing delusional. Anything you could possibly want is down in the description below. We no longer have a website. Don't go looking for that. But our Facebook, our Instagram, our email, please email us your personal listener stories. We love to do a listener's episode. It's literally our favorite thing to do. If you have any suggestions, go ahead and email us. Happy to do them. But right now, we are doing a little series. So sit back and enjoy that.
Can I interrupt?
Now,
It's
yes, you can.
it's Wrigley's Double Mint Gum.
Oh, there it is.
There it
There it
is. There
is.
it is.
I went to the Wrigley's mansion on Catalina Island when I was 18.
Girl, what? That's
Yeah,
cool.
it's abandoned. It's kind of cool. Anyways,
Oh, spooky.
it's
Okay.
very cool. Anyways, maybe that'll be a cover someday.
Yeah.
We're here.
Here we be.
We're existing.
Still alive, but we're barely
Barely
breathing.
breathing.
Here we-
How's how's my borscht doing?
I'm in dire need of a nap.
After this,
Like, really, that's it. That's all there's to
right
it.
after this, you can tuck right into bed. Just pass
I'm
the
gonna
heck out.
I'm gonna actually pound back so much water because I'm a thirsty queen from all the Taco Bell, and then I'm gonna take a fat nap.
That sounds beautiful.
Like a nice way to spend a Tuesday since I'm off anyway.
It, you should treat
Yeah.
yourself.
And the good news is, everybody, not that this is related to anything, but I guess food is on the brain for me. We're having breakfast for dinner tonight, which is like my one of my favorite
That's one
dinners
of
to
my
ever have.
favorites. Oh, bless.
Now, it's tough because my food intolerance test came back as I can't have eggs.
You can't have anything.
I literally can't have like anything. So, my breakfast for dinner actually kind of hits. I'm having a vegetable bowl with chicken sausage and bacon in it,
Oh, yum.
right? And like
Okay,
I'll
that's
have some
good.
like fruit on the side. It'll be cute. It'll be a moment.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
I have to, speaking of your intolerance test,
Yeah.
the way that I was speechless and my flappers were gasted when I
There,
saw that.
there was not a single thing that didn't come back with some sort of level of inflammation. I need to
Yeah.
talk to her because like maybe that's normal. Like maybe there is always some like food just for most people always have some degree like of
Yeah.
something to it. And like there were ones that were obviously high and then there were ones that were just like mild for
Yeah.
most of them. But like I need to
It
talk to
was
her and be like,
intense.
should we perhaps like address maybe some sort of gut issue?
That was intense.
Yeah.
Like heartbroken for you for a lot of things there. Like, geez,
I mean,
unfair.
it's fine. The
It's
end.
not.
How's my borsty?
Last night, I, like I said, I mean, in the last recording, this last weekend, I was the worst migraine ever. And then yesterday, I woke up feeling fine, great. And I was like hitting the ground running, just catching up on things. And then last night, I started getting a migraine again. And my dear husband's like, what can I do? What do you need? And I was like, I simply need a fucking lobotomy.
I swear to God, sometimes I have like, and I know like a headache isn't the same thing as a migraine, but sometimes I really have ones that are like pounding and like all encompassing. And it's like, if somebody just put a fucking stake through my head right now in this exact location, I know it would feel better.
And like, I don't care how many people are gonna probably message us after I tell you what I did, but it really did help. You may give me a horrified look. I don't care. You know those massage guns?
No, I've actually thought about doing this. Did it work?
I massaged my sinuses and into my jawline the greatest effing feeling ever. And I had relief the entire time I was doing that. The second I stopped, it hit again.
Okay, this is what's telling me that it's probably some kind of environmental thing then. If it's like your
Yeah.
sinuses, that's where mine always shows up. It's always in my
Well,
sinuses.
I get intense jaw pain right before my migraines. It's an aura pain.
Mm.
And so, like, I know when they're coming. So that was like, it started, I was massaging my jaw first. And then I was like, oh, wait, this feels good. So then I went into the sinuses and I was like, this is the greatest thing I've
And you're
ever
like,
done.
this is the shit right now.
And I know you're probably not supposed to use those on your face.
Whatever.
Let
I'm
me tell you
sure.
something. The amount of F's I have, 0.
I literally am certain that other people have probably used them in way more questionable ways than on their face.
Guaranteed.
So like I'm
Guaranteed.
like I like really like don't even worry about it, girl.
Guaranteed that they've been used in way worse ways. So, but that's that. So, I I just lobotomies sound not so bad when migraines exist. I'm just throwing that out there.
No, I believe it. I believe it. There have also been times when I've had them and I'm like, I bet you if they removed this one tooth, somehow it would fix this. Like
Uh-huh.
I've had that before too.
I've had moments where I was like, I bet if I didn't have this eyeball, it'd be fine.
Yeah, it'd be
I bet
fine.
if I just removed my eyeball, everything would be great.
Everything would be okay.
Yep.
It would all just, resolve. Anyway.
Anyways, that was some good old prattling right there.
How's that? Can't wait to be called like intolerable. I can't wait for people to wish cancer on us and all of
Yeah.
those fun things again with this season. But with that aside, should we start this rodeo, cowboy?
I why not? I'm down for it.
You're up first, kid. Like you
So
are so up first.
today I'm talking about the Utilidors.
Sure.
Um, I at this point, the Odd Family knows my Disney obsession.
Yes, yes.
So of course, I'm gonna talk about the underground Disneys.
I was really hoping you would because I hear a lot of dark things about the underground at Disney.
Well, like yeah, there's always dark things in anything, and if you ask me, but so I started with Disneyland, and Disneyland has underground tunnel systems, but it's more so to get from like one land to the next because Disneyland itself is actually quite small compared to the other lands
Yes.
in other locations. I got to make that clear. And it's, just to get characters from point A to point B, cast members to point A to point B much faster. They are like large tunnels because you can drive, I believe it's golf carts to and from, whatnot.
Sure. I think
But
you would
like
probably need to.
apparently in Disneyland, I could not find much on this. There is an underground jail for, offenders.
Like really bad offenders?
People that are breaking the Mickey laws. I don't know. Couldn't
What are
find
the
much on that if I'm going to be honest with you. So I don't
I
know that it exists.
might need more information on what the Mickey laws are, though, at some
Sneaking in
point.
without a ticket. Well, I
Yeah,
mean, there's actually a lot of Disney rules.
I
We'll
believe it.
we'll cross that bridge at another day.
Have a Disney day.
Walt Disney World in Florida. Personally, I've
Florida.
never been there. You have. My
I have.
understanding, this place is fucking huge.
Really big. Very, very, very big. It will melt
You
your mind
have,
when you go eventually.
my understanding, you have Epcot.
Yep.
You have Magic Kingdom, which is like Disneyland, but bigger.
And cooler.
And
Yes.
okay, and cooler.
And cooler.
My castle's better than yours. Me.
Listen, the Disney is the only good thing in Florida. Let us East Coasters
Fair,
have
fair.
this. Okay.
Okay. You have Animal Kingdom,
Yes.
and you also have Universal Studios.
There's also a water
Correct?
park somewhere in there too.
Okay, but
Yeah.
you have all of this wrapped into one. So, with that comes a massive underground called the Utilidor, which is
They could have done better.
utility and
At
underground apparently put together, or
sure.
underground corridor, under corridor and utility put together.
The Utilidor.
Yeah, the Utilidor. Um, they allow Disney employees and cast members to perform park support operations such as trash removal out of sight of guests, to avoid running and ruining the illusion, of
Okay, they're all
magic.
about the illusion. Right, right.
um, Thus, the guests are strictly forbidden from entering the Utilidors unless a special tour is being offered. Um, I don't know how
You,
much money I need to make to do this, but I'm down.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, like, okay.
it
You got
is,
to be a celebrity. Like, it's got to be a celeb thing.
yeah, this is 3 stories underground,
Holy shit. Okay.
which brings me to a lot of fears of sinkholes.
I mean, very fair.
Yeah. And again, this goes the same thing with Disneyland. It is a system for to get cast members from point A to point B. Same thing with the characters, quicker, point A to point B. Um, it is very large. There's storage, it's removal, it's a, apparently there's an underground hospital in there too that is a little bit more in depth. There's break rooms. It is somewhat of a little Disney city under there, but more so for the
Yeah,
employees.
it's a
It is very,
labyrinth.
yeah. Um, so where you have, like, I don't know, your standard behind the scenes in certain places, you have your underground scenes here at Walt Disney World.
Oh my God. Okay.
And it is my understanding that this is at every Disney location. Disneyland, Disney World, Disney Paris, Disney Japan, I think, or Hong Kong.
Hmm.
It anywhere that there's a Disney park, they have an underground, and it is strictly to keep the magic. It is
I mean, that
strictly,
checks out.
yeah. Um, Anytime there's merchandise being brought to different like stores and things like that, they're not going to be bringing them down Main Street.
Of
They're going
course
to bring
not.
them through the utilidors and through a back door or an underground elevator, I am assuming. Um, Disney thrives on illusions
Big time.
and securing magic. And I think that that's quite interesting to me. With Walt Disney World being so massive, and I mean, in my opinion, its own freaking city, it makes sense that it has to be so massive because it connects to all the lands.
Yeah.
So,
You need a
which
map
that's
to get
pretty
around
cool.
that thing. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the functions, it's waste removal, it's electrical operations, it's delivery and storage, it's food service, it's costuming, it's cast member services, and it's also emergency services. So if something does happen in the park where there's a life threatening thing, this is how they will move somebody
Yeah, they're like, get them the
and
fuck off the
move them
shit.
quickly,
Yeah.
which I also have to applaud Disney for having such a quick plan.
Yeah, I mean, it's some good mitigation and everything.
Because in the grand scheme of it, Disney also doesn't want bad publicity.
No
They
bad
will avoid that
publicity,
at
no
all
lawsuits, what
costs.
have you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there you have it, the Utilidors of Disney. And I also like that, of course, they had to come up with its own freaking word because it's Disney.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
Like instead of engineers, aren't they the Imagineers or some shit like
Yep.
that? Yep. So,
The Imagineers, the Musketeers, the cast members, not the employees. It goes on. The list goes on and on and on
you
and
know,
on.
if they served mascarpone flavored ice cream there, it would have to be
Mouse
mascarpone.
Capone. I mean,
Macaroons.
yeah, you pointed out a lot of things that they missed out on, and I'm just saying,
Hire a girl. I'll make your dreams come true. Well,
you'll
well
keep the
done.
magic growing.
You better believe it. Well done, Borsty. Good coverage. I'm not surprised.
No,
Like,
yeah,
it's a necessity for
it
something like
is.
this, especially with the way that everything is engineered at Disney. Like
Mm-hmm.
every detail, it is always like whatever, and they have to account for like weird variables because people are loose cannons. But they've done that with the Utilidor.
I think it's. I do remember as a kid, like remember seeing a certain character in one part of the like land, and then it's like, oh, now they're over there. How did they get there so quickly?
Yeah, what the fuck is
You
that?
know,
Like, I want to know though, because like when I'm picturing the Utilidor, I'm picturing like your classic underground, like everything's gray and like fluorescent lighting, and like,
it is
or is it
it
like
is like
nice as
that.
fuck? Oh, okay,
At
all right.
least the pictures that I've seen, it is very much. It is not. It's not magical down there. The magic is up
The magic stuff's
where
up
people can
top.
see it. Down there, it's business,
All right, we're
and they're
magic
getting
up
shit
top, business
done.
on the bottom. Got it, got it, got it.
But there
Okay.
isn't, and I mean, and that's very typical for Disney. You're gonna see like a handful of things because yes, they exist. They're transparent and all this stuff, right? But for the most part, they're gonna keep things hidden because Disney has their
It's what they
secrets.
do. It's what they do. Disney has so many secrets. Like,
Yeah,
that shit's wild. Okay.
there's a lot of
Excellent.
also conspiracies about like this is how kids get taken or something. But like, really, have you ever actually seen a child go like make news lines about going missing at Disney parks?
Negative.
Exactly.
Negative.
So,
It's a
anyways,
good point.
there you go.
I have for us, we're leaving the United States. We're
Woot woot.
gone.
Hell yeah.
We're
Where are we
going to
going?
We're going to Brazil, and I'm talking about the Antonio Villa-Boas case.
That's a handful of a name. Continue.
Don't know that I said it right, but here we are. As per usual, it's late at night, and where are we? Somewhere rural, and we're in Brazil. So all of this shit, it's never in a city. It's never in a city.
It's always somewhere rural. It's
It's
always somewhere.
nighttime and rural.
Okay.
The air's still, the fields are quiet, no city lights, no highways, no background hum of modern life. We're just hanging out in the farmland and darkness, apparently. This young farmer is working alone. In the fucking dead of night. I don't know what Antonio's doing, but here we are. Something changes in the sky, and a red light appears overhead. And at first, it's distant. It's rather easy to ignore, but then it grows brighter and brighter, and it moves in a way that doesn't resemble any known aircraft of the time. Again, we're in the 50s, so excuse me. So things are not like particularly high tech in a lot of ways, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. Anyway, there's no sound, there's no flight path, there's no familiar logic of motion, whatever. And then, according to his account, it descends. And this is the moment the story of Antonio Villas Boas enters UFO history, because what he describes next becomes as one of the earliest fully detailed alien abduction narratives ever recorded in modern folklore.
Of
And
course.
unlike a lot of the other sightings that I've covered, it's not just about like seeing lights or like I guess like telepathic conversation with these humanoids or whatever, but it's what happens after the landing that's so crazy. So here's why it's different. You have to understand what it's not. So it's not emerging, this case is not emerging from a heavily urbanized, media saturated environment like the US in the same era. Brazil in the 50s, especially in more rural interior regions, is characterized by limited access to television or science fiction media, lower exposure to UFO pop culture narratives, strong oral storytelling traditions as a whole, agricultural labor based daily life, and geographic isolation from global media hubs. And so this creates a long standing debate in UFO research. Interpretation A, which is cultural isolation strengthens authenticity of this case. So some researchers argue that because of the lesser like media influences, they make the account more original or like less contaminated by fiction. And then isolation, there's interpretation B, which is isolation does not prevent idea diffusion. Others argue that UFO concepts were already global by the 50s through newspapers, radio, or word of mouth, meaning cultural contamination is still very possible. Either way, the case becomes really significant because it does not mirror earlier contactee narratives like George Adamski that I covered, or like
Yeah.
Salter. It actually shifts towards something far more invasive and clinical. And so I'm going to give you a step-by-step account of the encounter here a little bit. So, according to his testimony, the experience begins with observation. He sees this red light in the sky, it gets closer, and eventually it lands. But then he sees humanoid figures emerging from the craft. He says they're human like in body structure, they're wearing tight fitting suits, they're wearing helmets or headgear, and they're communicating through gestures rather than speech. Obviously, they're all a bunch of deaf NASCAR drivers.
Clearly.
That's That's it. But there's no sense of like friendliness or like moral messaging. It's more of like procedural, observational, and controlled. And when he attempts to escape, he's actually allegedly like captured. So he doesn't just get to like talk to them. Now they're taking him. And so the
Oh,
narrative
okay.
shifts like dramatically. He's taken inside the craft.
What was
Antonio's
inside the
like,
craft?
well, we're going to go through it. So
Okay.
Antonio's like, holy shit. I'm just out here in the middle of the night trying to do my farming and whatnot, and then you all fucking show up and take me on your shit. So he describes the interior as metallic and industrial, brightly, like almost to the point of being harshly illuminated, very sterile, very clinical in appearance, free of visible screws, wires, or mechanical complexity, and cold in atmosphere and emotional tone. And so this is a major departure from earlier UFO narratives, like Adamski's sort of like spiritual spacecraft, where he's like, contacted by that Venusian, and they're like, oh, like peace and love, like whatever.
Yeah.
No. Here, the environment resembles a laboratory, a medical facility, some sort of controlled, like experimental space, right? And so
Okay.
he claims he then goes through an examination. So he's physically restrained, he's undressed, and he's subjected to a physical examination. He interprets it as very, very medical in nature. It is not communicative, it's not spiritual, it's not biological, it's not necessarily with like any kind of like malice. And it becomes one of the earliest documented instances in UFO folklore of the classic alien medical examination motif. And so then that motif kind of like dominates abduction stories for decades. And so
Ooh, he set the bar.
he set the bar. Now, here's where it gets a little controversial and a little like ick. Now, he reports after this examination that he's placed in proximity to a female humanoid being, and he describes her as similar in structure to the others, physically distinct in form, but silent and observant. And according to his interpretation, what occurs is a form of reproductive or biological interaction. So now we get to the gross part of this.
Okay.
And so this element is critical in UFO mythology because it starts to introduce these genetic themes, these reproduction narratives, cross species biological experimentation. And whether interpreted literally or symbolically, it marks a shift from contact to like physiological intrusion, right? So after the encounter, he's reportedly returned to the field. They're like, I'm done with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of here. The craft leaves. The experience ends, but then the aftermath begins. So, he later reports symptoms, including nausea, weakness, skin irritation, and general physical discomfort. At the time, some early UFO investigators propose radiation exposure as a possible explanation. This reflects a broader 1950s scientific context where nuclear testing is active, radiation is a newly feared like environmental hazard, unknown energy exposure becomes like the catch-all explanation for shit. And so, however, there is no medical or environmental confirmation that's ever like conclusively established following this. And modern interpretation of the Villas Boas case, maybe it's Villas Boas, but either way, often consider multiple overlapping frameworks. There's the sleep wake dissociative states. So, neuroscience recognizes that we as humans can experience hybrid cognitive states between wakefulness and REM dreaming. We've talked about this a little bit.
Yeah.
So, your external environment perception may persist. Dream imagery can overlay reality. We were just talking about this with like my alarm
Yeah.
going off, you hearing your TikTok videos and whatever. Hallucinations can feel very externally sourced, and time perception becomes distorted. And so these episodes can produce highly structured narratives involving beings, environments, procedural interactions, whatever. Importantly, they're not consciously fabricated, they are experienced as real. Then there's also the temporal lobe phenomena, which research into the temporal lobe stimulation shows that disruption in this brain region can produce sensation of presence, like something's with you, vivid hallucinations of entities, feelings of communication with non human intelligences, and emotional intensity disproportionate to whatever the external stimulus is. And so this is significant because a lot of abduction narratives share the emotional consistency, even when visual details will differ, sometimes dramatically. And then there's also the argument of environmental toxic exposure. So in the 50s agricultural settings, you had exposure to some chemicals like organophosphates, early generation pesticides, some solvent based farming agents, and these can be common things which can cause confusion, neurological disruption, dizziness, and hallucinatory episodes in pretty severe exposure cases, which doesn't explain a structured narrative on its own, but it can't hurt in contributing to it, right? Um, there's also memory reconstruction over time. Even when an unusual event occurs, human memory is not static, right? So details become more structured, gaps are filled subconsciously, cultural narratives influence recall, emotional intensity reshapes sequencing. This goes into a little bit what I was talking about in last episode, where like your brain hunts around for patterns and things that kind of essentially make it comfortable and make connections, right? So this means that later retellings can become more detailed than the original experience, and this is a phenomenon well documented in cognitive psychology. Now, this case is interesting because it becomes foundational as it introduces this template that will define abduction narratives for decades. So before this, UFO encounters are basically observational or like philosophical in nature, and contact is framed as like communicative or moral. But after this case, you get a new structure, right? You get aerial observation, you get a landing craft, humanoid entities, and then also the capture and like involuntary transport aspect, and like medical evaluations and gross reproductive stuff and all of that. And then the return with physical after effects of it. And so this structure appears repeatedly in later reports across different countries and different cultures. And so this is important because a striking aspect of abduction narratives is like how they start to overlap. So despite differences in geography, language, culture, education level, the core structure remains like very similar, which raises a deeper question of like, are the experiences actually shared? Are they a culturally transmittive, like narrative framework, or are they interpreted expressions of like unknown perceptual phenomena that's going on? So, like, why do alien abduction narratives so often converge on medical, biological, reproductive themes, regardless of the culture or geography? And is it because these experiences reflect actual shared external encounters, or is it because the human brain, when it's trying to explain vulnerability, control, bodily autonomy, naturally defaults to the language of like medicine and biology or like things that it's picked up along the way? When I'm looking at the different explanations around this, I think it could easily be a combination of sleep wake dissociative states combined with some environmental toxic exposure.
Yeah.
Like when you look at the after effects that he experienced, like that checks out for me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think it's very easy if you're a farmer working in the middle of the night to like maybe once again doze off and like shit happens.
Yeah. There's some sort of mhm. something doesn't something doesn't sit right with me on it. And it's not like, oh yeah, that totally happened. It's like again, it's just like the perfect storm of
Yeah.
environmental factors. Period. Like
Now, totally.
also, I
Yeah.
maybe it's the ick factor of the other things. I don't know, but it's just none of it sitting right with me.
Now the thing that's like that lends like a little bit of credibility to myself for this, like, is that he's like the first
Yeah.
with some of this stuff. And it's like, is a farmer out in the middle of Brazil like really gonna try and like does he really give a shit about like
Yeah.
spreading this around or like fame or like what he's like just trying to do his thing, you know?
And here's like the worst part.
What's
I'm
that?
more likely to believe somebody outside of the US,
100%.
right? It's so bizarre to me
Yeah, like I mean, he
that
didn't
that's my bar.
like as far as I could tell from my research, like he's not getting anything out of this.
Yeah.
So
Well,
like,
it did nothing for him. He continued on in life.
yeah. And like I feel
Right?
like a lot of his after effects too, I mean, they are consistent with like exposure to like radioactive substances to a degree,
Yeah.
like minorly. So it's like maybe it's the environmental toxic exposure. Maybe he did end up on an aircraft, like a UFO. I don't know. I really don't know.
It's crazy. It well, it's not crazy. It's just no one will truly know unless there's a witness. That's the
Yeah,
bottom line here. We either take his word or speculate.
totally. Now the thing is, and I think in one or two of the stories that I have, there is at least one other witness, but it's also like if it's just one, are they like in cahoots? Whatever. Like we'll
Yeah.
get to that. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. The other thing though that's questionable around all of this to me is this red light. Like a red light to me actually does scream like some sort of aircraft versus a
Hmm.
UFO.
Yeah, because aircrafts have red and green lights on them to mark them,
Yep.
right?
And like I understand that by his estimation, this was not an aircraft that he was familiar with, didn't move in a way that he was familiar with, but also like as a rural farmer in Brazil, like I'm not trying to judge, but like how many aircraft was the guy really exposed to?
Right?
I mean, like logically speaking, like I mean, I don't know if he was an avid traveler or anything, but this is the 50s in rural Brazil. I'm going to wager probably not that much.
Yeah.
And certainly not like he's not like an aerospace engineer or something. So like I mean, could have like pilots wear weird outfits and like maybe he hadn't seen it. Maybe it was a government thing. I
It
don't
could have been a
know.
government thing. It could just boil down to that, which
If it was a government thing,
who
then they could
knows
have
what
easily
experiments were done on him because it was a
yeah,
government thing.
totally. Or honestly, that alone, like he could have just like they could have just drugged him and been like, "Nah, you didn't actually see anything." And then he just had like a crazy
Flashlight.
hallucination, like,
Men in
whatever.
Black
Yeah,
situation.
he did the Men in Black flashlight thing. So like to me, it's like, well, I mean, maybe yes, maybe no. I think there are more likely explanations for this than an actual encounter, personally.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm kind of digging the government route and some drugging, if I'm going to be honest with you. But
I mean, it
also,
happens.
I'm down to the environmental
Exposure.
exposures of
Totally.
because like a number of things. And like, who knows? He's a farmer in the farmlands. There could have been a meteor shower, and he could have come across a meteor, and it could have been radioactive, and then there's radiation poisoning. Like,
He he could have it's a fucking farming in Brazil. He could have had
it could
heat
have been a
like
number of
heat
things.
stroke, like it could have been like a lot of shit. So
Yeah.
he could have been like wildly dehydrated. I don't know. So to me it's like there's not enough true evidence behind this for me to be like, yeah, I think probably. And this is
Yeah.
me speaking as somebody who like 100% does believe in extraterrestrials. Like I
Oh,
totally think they exist.
yeah, you're not going to catch me denying that.
But like I
But
don't
when
know
it
that this
comes
is
to
actually a case of it.
stories, though, I do pick them apart.
Totally, totally.
That's
So
just
anyway,
who I
that's
am.
there you go. That's Antonio Villas Boas
Wow.
and Brazil. Yeah.
Well done. Well
Thank
done.
you. Thank you. So here we are. And let us know, Odd Fam, what you think about, well, really all of this. The
Yes.
Utilidor, singular or doors?
Utilidors, because they're multiple.
Because they're multiple, right? Okay, yeah. So the Utilidors and the Antonio Villas Boas abduction, supposedly. So curious to hear your thoughts on what you believe. And until next time.
Stay strange.